So we just saw pictures of last weekend where the children got together. Natasha, Rajas, with Leela, and of course Nikhil, Anuja, and Amara, and seeing the two grandchildren playing together, especially in the same dresses. I thought that was such a wonderful idea from Anuja. Um, and just the bonding between them. I know that when the movie came out, Hum Saath Saath Hain, you had always talked about, wanting the family together. So, as we think about life, and I think something that I grew up reading was if you are born, you're going to leave a legacy. You don't have a choice about that. However, you may have a choice, or you can have a choice, or perhaps you should be intentional about your choice of what kind of legacy you want to be remembered by. And I thought we could start with that question. What is one thing you want us to remember about your legacy? And perhaps I'm going to say, Mummy's birthday is coming up on the 3rd of August, and I would put it as the legacy of both of you. And then perhaps you could, sort of see if it's similar or if there's anything else.
Well, it's a good question to start with. As you know, I have talked many times about legacy. I have written about it in my books. And just to summarize, there are three types of legacies we all live in this world. One is a physical legacy, that's your possessions, material things, property, and all that. And we have left enough for you all and distributed equitably. The second legacy is a mental, psychological legacy, literary, which I have written in many of the books. And at any point of time, if any one of you, future generations, want to know who we were, you will have it documented, available to you at any point of time. That was the purpose of my writing a series of books on the family and the family values and the legacy. And the last is the spiritual legacy, and that is what you leave behind by which you will be remembered. Like so and so was so and so's son, so and so's husband, so and so's father, so and so. So, of course, the parents is history, but the children is the legacy that you leave behind, and you will be known that these are the children of that man, good or bad, or he was the father of these great people who have made their mark in this world, in their life. So, the only legacy your mommy and I are leaving behind now, of which we are proud of, is our spiritual legacy, the values that we have transferred to you all. Fortunately, for two generations of children and grandchildren, and hopefully for the third generation of great grandchildren, if God gives me the required time. So, how we want to be remembered is how you all will remember us, who we were, what our values were, how we instilled those values in you all, and how diligently you absorbed them, reflected on them, and followed them.
So, where does the role of destiny come in legacy?
Oh, again, destiny is my favorite word. I believe in destiny, but destiny has nothing to do with legacy. Destiny is what you are, where you are placed, and what happens to you in your life. Legacy is a follow on that you do. Destiny is not what you do. Destiny is what has been destined to you. Legacy is in your hands. Destiny is not in your hands. So, what you transfer to the future generations is entirely up to you. It has nothing to do with destiny. And so, you make the destiny for your children by transferring them whatever you think is in their interest.
But if their destiny is already written, how can you leave that? How can you change that?
Well, destiny, in my opinion, have two aspects. One which is predestined and determined, like the lines on your palm or on your forehead that cannot be changed. But the outcome of the destiny can be modified. How that destiny's influence will affect your generations, will they be cushioned against the these storms of life? Will they be weaklings? Will they be strong people like you want your children to be? That can be done. So, destiny will not be changed by your legacy, but the legacy will make them strong enough to cope with whatever destiny holds for them. So, the two are related, but not two are the same thing.
Yeah, and I think that's where prayer and faith comes in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The two best things in life that are prayers and blessings. Prayers are what you do, and through them you earn all the good things that can happen to you or your future generations. And blessings is what you earn by doing good to others. When anybody blesses you, they're not only blessing you, they're blessing all your future generations. And they're transmitted probably in exponential fashion, multiplied many times. So that all we do. We collect goodwill, we collect blessings, transmit them to our future generations. Our being good today is for future generations' sake. The more blessings we earn today, we are doing a service to our future generations because they'll be transmitted.
So you talked about, the legacy influencing the children and the grandchildren. So what has parenthood been like for you?
My parents?
Your no parenthood,
Oh,
being a parent.
parenthood. Oh, okay. Well, being a parent is a blessing. Uh, most of us do have that. Some don't, but still they can be parents. So when you say parenthood, it does not mean genetically parenthood. Parenthood is something that you pursue for future generations. They be your children, children with whom you are responsible, your students. Everybody, parenting does not apply only to the children. To me, parenting is you pass on. You pass on what you believe in. You pass on what you think is good for them. Destiny or future will tell what was you transmitted was good or bad. But what you do intentionally as good to them is the best service you do to the future generations. And the parenting simply is transmitting good that you can, that you have, that you think they should have.
Yeah, but what has it been like for you personally?
Oh, I have been blessed. What I had, uh, I'm blessed means I have had everything best in my life. Now, let me say best does not mean superlative best. The best means the most appropriate. To me, is that everything that I had in my life, my parents, my siblings, my spouse, my children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, I think at the right time, everything appropriate happened to me. Whether it was my upbringing, whether it was my education, whether it's my opportunities, facilities, placement in my life, the career, the the uh, appreciations, achievement that I got in my life, to me they were most appropriate with the time and place and my status in life. And that what I think was the best. I do not know what could have been better because that is unknown. But what I know is what happened to me was the best for me. And I can only summarize by saying this, that if I ever have a chance, I'll be very happy to have that again, what I have had in my life. I've never had to say, I wish things could have been different. I never had that to say. I've been so happy, contented, satisfied, because everything best happened to me.
So, one question that is commonly asked these days in different interviews and all as part of their, I think, looking at the motivational and emotional aspect is if you had to do something over, what would that be in life? So, if you had to do something over in life, what would that be?
It would be try to improve what I already have. That means if I get a chance, I'll won't change my values. I won't change what I want to transmit, but I'll transmit with a little more vigor. And I like my children to be more adaptable to what future holds to them. What I have done till today is prepare them for today. If I have a chance, I'll prepare them for tomorrow and the day after uh, without changing my beliefs and my values.
So, you talk about values and beliefs. I think this is a two-part question. How does one acquire that? And what influences?
Okay, belief and values you acquire by your own efforts. They are there. They are there through your parents, they are there through your teachers, they are there through your readings, they are there through whatever knowledge, information, first and second hand that you are getting. But it is of no use unless you have the receptibility, your antennas are open for those values, and you have the courage and ability to analyze them, understand them, and transmit in what you think is the right value. You don't have to pass it on and verbatim. It doesn't have to be what was good through my parents to me will also be good to my children through me. Things change with time and place. So, when you talk of values and beliefs and all that, values and beliefs are constant, but how they are interpreted and how they are practiced, I think that's variable, consistent with the time and place and the context in which future generations will be acting. So I cannot be the same constant all the time.
So, if Leela and Amara today asked you, Nana, funny Nana, that's what Amara calls
Yes,
you,
she calls me that.
and Leela Nana, um, what are our family values? What are our beliefs? What would you share with them? Would you want them to know?
I remember when you interviewed your mother on her 80th birthday, you asked the same question. And her answer was very simple, one simple sentence. I want my children to be good human beings. Full stop. That goes to children, grandchildren, so on and so on. I second, support wholeheartedly and add to it that what I think you all should be good, do good. Don't do anything that you would like to be done to you. Do not hurt and harm anybody intentionally. cannot guarantee that nobody will be get upset, hurt, or anything otherwise by you. But if your intentions are clear, the actions can be acceptable. So that's all I want to say. Like my wife said, be a good human being and then do as much good as you can do to whosoever you can. Be good, do good. In our philosophy, we have nine dharmas. Now, dharma. The first of that is service. The preachings of Gita and whatever it is includes that you follow these nine duties in your life, Navdhara. The first of them is service. And service simply means do good, which is not good is not a service, it's a disservice. So, first your dharma, which is be good, second, do good. So, I mean, what else can I say? I just want them to be good human beings, as my wife said, good children, and do their duty.
Yeah, and I think mommy also used to share the word Vasudev Kutumbakam.
Absolutely. For her, the whole world was family. When you mentioned your legacy to your children, and I specify children does not mean your genetic children. It means what my wife said, the whole world is your family. So treat them as your children.
So, if the other principle I think mommy always used to tell us when we would ruminate or talk about things and try to analyze them, that life is too simple, you just complicate matters.
Yes.
What would she say today with what is going on with all this technology and artificial intelligence and, uh, you know, the human connectedness seemingly less frequent?
Oh, she will say the same thing, what she always said. Change is the only certainty in life. Change will happen. What is happening today, our parents might have wondered where the world is going. Like we are wondering today where the world is going. But neither they could stop nor can we. So change is essential. What is important is how you adapt to this change. And there are so many examples, metaphors one can give about this. Is that I still remember those first paragraph of a book of pathology by Boyd,
Boyd. Yeah.
which says, "We are swimming in an ocean of carcinogens,
Yeah.
and it's no wonder that we get some. The wonder is, why don't we get more often?
And why don't more get it?
More get, yes,
Yeah,
so
something to that
exactly.
effect.
So,
Yeah.
and we are swimming in the world of technology. Today is information technology. Everything is in the clouds. Clouds are all around us. Whether say iCloud, whatever it is. There's nothing in our hands. Everything is in the cloud. The question is what we absorb from that, how much moisture we get in this humidity, how we get affected by it, are we able to cope with it, survive it, and all those things. So
And how much do we do to influence it? I think, how much of it is unavoidable, but how much are we contributing to that? I think that,
I don't know about the contributions, but yes, it's unavoidable. As I keep mentioning all the time, today the world is ruled by information technology. We are fed every second by some information or the other, either through the service portals, the channels, the social media, print media, the digital media, and whatever it is. And the big question with us today is what to believe and what not to believe. This was not the case in the
Yeah.
past when I was growing up. What we got was something that we believed in. Whether the news comes, it was the genuine news. Whether information comes or preaching comes, that was genuine. And we believed it without a second thought. Today is not the case. Today, the world is being exploited. We are ruled, our minds are ruled by this digital media. And that's not the only thing. Our minds are taken over by the digital media to the extent that I don't have to remember the spellings, I don't have to know the tablets, I don't have to write a paragraph of my lecture. Just tell chat something, whatever it is called, it'll be done to you.
Chat GPT. Yeah.
Not only that, I mean, I am not what I am. Today there'll be a duplicate of me teaching somebody. It won't be me, but a virtual
Yeah.
hologram of me giving a lecture somewhere. So I keep asking the same $1 million question. John Walshon, who am I? From that famous movie,
Les
Les
Miserables.
Miserables. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
who am I? Today I question they ask. All the preachers over the times have asked the question. Everybody is saying the same. Who am I? What am I here for? And today's artificial intelligence has definitely put us on the map. Who am I? I don't know.
I think, but that's also a call to an intentional rethinking with the right, you know, frame to really who are we? Who do we want to be? What does being human mean? What does being are we humans, or are we the spirit in us just manifested in a human body?
No, we are spirits definitely, and we are human body, and that's a blessing. There are so many bodies in the universe. The human are supposed to be the best because they have the mind, not only the brain, the capability of thinking, understanding, meditating, reflecting, and reacting appropriately. It's not a reflex what happens with the rest of the life forms. Here it is a considered reflection, not a spontaneous reflection. So we are definitely better human beings. Uh, what again is important is, again I have to come to that word spirituality. And spirituality means the purpose of prayers, purpose of yoga, and all that is a, a centripetal approach where you concentrate your mind to a focus, which means eliminating the unwanted and absorbing the most wanted. So, in this information, the purpose of your studies, yoga, advancement in life, spirituality is to be able to filter out what is not necessary, absorb what is essential. Now, the definition of necessary and essential will vary from
Person to
people to people. It's a personality. But again, you should continue getting the best that you think is in your interest. I think self help is the best help. I is the most important person in my life, and therefore, if you want to improve the world, improve yourself. And therefore, I will start with myself, absorbing whatever best and transmit it in the best form I can. So, there used to be other metaphor we used to give that one should live in this world like a fish lives in water without getting wet. So you live in this world without getting affected. The other two things that our philosophy says is attachment and renunciation. Both are equally important. You can't say, I will have this and not that. The very fact that we came in that life, we came with an attachment. Not no one comes in this life without attachment. You're always attached to something or the other. We call it cord, somebody calls it whatever it is. So attachment is an essential. Relationships are essential. One cannot survive as an isolation on an island. We are human beings, and therefore relationships are very, very relevant for our happiness, our peace of mind. Absolutely. At the same time, detachment is necessary to be able to filter out. We have three capacities which today's computer has taught us. One, you can always store something in the memory, save in a file. You can always delete what is unwanted. There are two buttons, save and delete. And third, you can always create, the creativity. So we are, they say, humans, the best computer in the world. But we don't have to be a mechanical computer. We have this capability of creating, retaining, and rejecting.
I think as humans we have one more, which the computers don't have, and that is
Yes.
the choice.
Well, uh,
And I think that's where it's crucial to have that inward discernment to be able to
yeah,
make that choice.
absolutely. So the three C's that you used to say, and I used to say the same thing in the life: the choices, the challenges, and the
Chances.
chances. Choices, challenges, and chances.
And
You
I
made up
added the
that.
fourth one, that the confirmations.
Confirmations
There are no
are
coincidences or
absolutely
chances. Yeah, yeah.
whatever you use,
Like you
coincidences,
said,
confirmations.
whatever happens, happens appropriately. But I think that comes also with a choice of thinking about it and
Yes.
understanding. And often that's hindsight. Where we've talked a lot about legacy, values, family, and I think these are the discussions that we continue to have. And when Mummy was with us, we had them physically with her, and now she continues to have those with us. But I think as we close, just any last words you want to say on behalf of both of you for the family as we are living in this, era of change at a rapid pace, and uh, while we are also connected, the human connectedness sometimes feels distant.
Uh, Distances are real and distances are virtual. Two people can be as far apart as they can be even by being together, sitting together, living together. Or you can be as close as you can be, being as far away as you can. So they're very physical. What's important is uh, that famous quote I always had on my cup of coffee for 30 years when I was working abroad, which said, it does not matter how different we are. What is important is how close we stay. It was on my cup, and every morning I would pick that up, read that as a reminder to me. So, today's world, distance is an essential necessity. In our days, two or three generations lived in the same house with the same work traditions in the same village. Today is not the same. No one lives together as one unit. But still, we can stay one unit. You see, so staying together is the definition of family. Family does not mean two people connected by genes. A family is people who stay together physically if possible, but definitely mentally and spiritually if they believe in it. So, and to me, the most important what we have as an instinct, and I call it animal instinct, it's not a human instinct, is to stay together. They call it herd instinct. The herd instinct is where they stay together without knowing why, because they have three things: is to sustain, preserve against the predators and so on. Our herd instinct is calculated, analytical, understandable. With whom to herd, which family we form, but family is essential. And the how family sticks together, again it brings those famous sentences. A family that prays together stays together. A family makes these stories around a table. And I think this is what your mother did, my father did. 3 generations I have watched this, and I hope the coming generations follow this. You must make sure that you stay united. Uh, Divided we fall, united we stand. And that's a family. Wherever you are, make sure you stay together in thick and thin. Second is, make sure you find time and place to be together. Physically, if possible. Meet once a year, once in 6 months, once in 2 years, but have that longing to meet and to be together. If you can't do that, at least do it virtually. Be together. It is absolutely essential as the family. You remember in your childhood, my mother, your mother, and my father, they made sure every evening, 7 o'clock, everybody should come home wherever you are, just for that prayer
Prayer.
few minutes. Or at least once in a day, let's sit on the dining table, whatever it is, just for a few minutes. And that kept the family together. So this is what you can convey to them. Wherever you are, whatever you do, make sure there are moments in your life when you long for each other, you want to be together, to be a family. And now the family have two other things: the faith and belief and trust. Trust is essential to keep the family together. You have to trust each other. Absolutely essential. Your beliefs can be different. You believe in this party or that, you believe in this God and that, you believe that's different. You are entitled to it. But faith is absolute. You have to believe that I need help. You have to believe that there is something much bigger than us. There's somebody or something that can help us. So you have to faith in that superpower. You have to have trust in each other. You may have different beliefs. It doesn't matter. The family with these qualities will always stay together. And I hope my family of future generations follow this.
So we started off, with the family getting together last weekend, and I think, yeah, that was wonderful for both of us to see and enjoy those pictures that we keep
Oh,
watching again and
absolutely.
again of the family
Absolutely.
together. So I think, as a mother and grandmother, and as a daughter, I'm really grateful for the family, and yeah, I wish the same for them. So, with that, wishing mommy a very happy birthday. Yeah.
Thank you, Mukta. Thank you very much.